Moondrop. Hey everyone, it's me Pratima, and this is the most unique smartphone in the world right now. This is the Moondrop MIAD01, which is meant to be a smartphone for the audio enthusiast. Just look at what we got here, 2 headphone jacks. This one costs around $400, and for that price, this thing offers a hi-fi wired audio experience which I bet you will not find in any normal smartphone in 2024. And even if you get a handful of phones with a 3.5mm headphone jack, you don't get a high-quality audio processor, aka DAC. You can buy a separate portable DAC like these and connect it with your phone, but the problem is that setup is a bit too clunky and also not very practical and comfortable to carry around in your pocket. Whereas with the Moondrop smartphone, that all hassle goes away because it has a couple of flagship DACs built in. Plus, besides a regular 3.5mm headphone jack, it also has a 4.4mm balanced plug, making it the first smartphone ever with a 4.4mm output. So without getting into too much detail, a 4.4mm balanced connection is basically less open to electromagnetic interference noise and has better signal strength compared to the unbalanced 3.5mm plug. It's mostly useful when your audio gear needs to be routed through long cables or something like that, and some of my audiophile friends also swear by superior audio quality from a 4.4mm connection itself. And I've got to say, Moondrop was not kidding about the audio quality here. I tested a bunch of IEMs and headphones here, and after shuffling it through my Spotify playlist and my local library of high bitrate music, I found its audio to be exactly as I expected. Just clean, neutral sound with no noise or distortion, a wide soundstage, excellent clarity, and a playfully slight extension in the mid-bass region. It sounded a bit smeared, a bit muddy at first, but after I disabled Moondrop's spatial audio thing, the MIAD01 sounds absolutely wonderful. Now, some of my IEMs and headphones also have a relatively high impedance and low sensitivity, meaning a poor quality DAC would not have been able to play or drive them properly. But I am happy to say that was not a problem with the MIAD01 at all, and I never even dared to push the volume higher than 70 to 80% here. I also really like the super granular 100-step volume control on this thing as well, compared to how most Android phones have 10 to 20-step volume adjustment only. Apart from the audio, I like this design too. You get a very bold aesthetics with a sharp, serious look topped off with very playful orange accent for the buttons here, but because of these sharp edges and the plastic build, it does not have the best hands-on feel though. Likewise, the other specs of this phone are pretty basic for the price. You get a 6.7 inches curved AMOLED display with a full HD resolution and smooth 120Hz refresh rate. The colors here are vibrant and punchy, but it's not the brightest display I've seen on a mid-range phone, and interacting with this display is not great either because of the slower 120Hz touch response rate and weak haptics. The stereo speakers here are also pretty average for the price, and you only get wideband L3 certification, so no high-res streaming on Netflix. Okay, in terms of performance, you get a pretty ordinary Dimensity 7050 processor here from MediaTek with 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of internal storage, while you can add up to 2 terabytes of storage via a micro SD card too. Now, we have already seen this MediaTek chip in a bunch of MediaTek phones, so we already know its performance here is okay and nothing more. It has a clean near-stock Android software experience though, and I am happy with its memory management and multitasking as well, so you will not have trouble going through your everyday work on this phone at all. But software experience is one area where this phone worries me a lot. That's because Moondrop has not said anything about future updates for this guy, while it also boots on Android 13 instead of the latest Android 14. And its battery life is a strict B+ only. Moondrop has fitted in a 5000 mAh battery here, and under my regular usage, I've only been getting like 6 hours of screen on time on this guy. FYI, you don't get a power brick inside the box, but with the one that supports 33-watt power delivery charging, this one can go from 0 to 100% in about 1 hour and 15 minutes. As for the cameras, the MIAD01 gets a 64-megapixel primary, an 8-megapixel ultrawide, and a 32-megapixel selfie shooter. And yeah, the camera is easily the weakest point about this device, and they have even mentioned this on the official product page itself by saying it's not good, but it works. Then again, when there was was ample lighting, I got some pretty good looking photos with good HDR processing, albeit with very less details, especially from that ultra-wide angle lens. Similarly, when it comes to human subjects, its selfies and portraits are good. Not that bad, but not really good either, but details are once again a hit or a miss here. For videos, you can shoot up to 4K 30 FPS from its primary and 1080p 30 FPS videos from its ultra-wide and the selfie camera, and as expected, they are nothing to be excited about either. With decent stabilization but poor exposure control, details and audio pickup. Okay, so to conclude, the Moondrop MIAD01 is not just niche, but a super niche product geared towards audio enthusiasts and audio enthusiasts only. But as a standalone smartphone, I think Moondrop could have done a much better job. From the mediocre cameras to the slow display, questionable software support and very weak cameras, its shortcomings significantly outweigh its strengths. And what about the after-sales service? Well, that's definitely a big question as well. So if you're happy with wireless earbuds and don't care about wired audio at all, then the Moondrop MIAD01 is something you should not even consider in the first place. Having said that, if you really care about the wired audio experience and are willing to take a gamble on Moondrop's first smartphone, then the MIAD01 might be exactly what you've been looking for. Maybe you plan on using it as a secondary phone solely for listening to music, but that makes perfect sense too. So everybody, that was all for my full review of the Moondrop MIAD01. Do let me know in the comments below if you would like me to feature some unique devices on this channel, and if you do, don't forget to subscribe, and while you're there, don't forget to hit that notifications bell as well. Till then, I'm Pratima, and thank you so much for watching.